It's not just about sitting down and meditating or praying for our prayers to come true. We do something different. We teach our students to stand up and act as if their prayers have already been answered. This change in how we approach things is really important. It's about showing your body what it would feel like emotionally if the thing you want has already happened. Think about it. What emotion would you feel if your dream came true? Excitement, joy, inspiration, incredible gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful feeling because it signals that the event has already happened. It's not just about feeling gratitude. It's about combining that elevated emotion with a clear intention. The emotion is the energy, the frequency, the carrier of the thought. The thought is the intent. It's the direction, the specific field, the frequency. Imagine it like tuning a radio dial. When there's a vibrational match between your energy and that potential that exists in the quantum field, it's going to find you. When you hold on to that emotional state of gratitude, your body starts to live in that future, in the present moment. This is when miracles begin to happen. Moving from the old self to the new self is like crossing a river. You need the passion, the intensity, and the will to keep going, to move beyond your old emotions, thoughts, and unconscious habits. The quantum model of reality tells us that all possibilities exist in the present moment. To create, you need to be in the present moment. When you reach that elegant present moment, you become nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time. That's when you become pure consciousness and step into the quantum field. You can't walk through the door into the quantum field as a somebody. You have to be a nobody. To heal your body, you need to forget about your body. To change some aspect of your personality, you have to get beyond your personality. To create something new in your environment, you have to detach from your environment. Once you embark on this journey, something remarkable happens within your consciousness. You begin to merge your individual awareness with the greater consciousness of the universe. This is a profound shift where you start to perceive yourself not just as an isolated individual, but as an integral part of a larger whole. As you merge your consciousness with the greater field of awareness, your brain undergoes a remarkable transformation. The left hemisphere, known for logical thinking and analysis, begins to synchronize and collaborate seamlessly with the right hemisphere, which is associated with creativity and intuition. This synchronization creates a state of holism within your brain, where both hemispheres work in harmony towards a common purpose. This holistic brain state is incredibly powerful. It allows you to access higher levels of creativity, problem-solving abilities, and intuitive insights. Ideas flow more freely, and you are better equipped to make decisions that align with your highest aspirations and intentions. Simultaneously, as your brain enters this state of coherence, your heart also undergoes a significant transformation. Your heart moves into a state of coherence and organization, where its rhythm becomes synchronized and harmonious. This coherence is not just a physical phenomenon, it reflects a deep alignment between your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. In this coherent state, your heart becomes a powerful center of intelligence. It communicates with your brain through a network of neurons and electromagnetic signals, influencing your perception, decision-making, and overall well-being. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you experience greater emotional balance, clarity of mind, and resilience in the face of challenges. We've seen it happen repeatedly in our workshops. When students reach this state, tears of joy often roll down their faces. They feel so whole, so happy, that they no longer want anything because they are already complete. And that's when the miracles happen. Living in survival mode, in stress, driven by emotions like anger, fear, and unworthiness, keeps you trying to control and predict outcomes. But in the quantum model of reality, you create an energetic field that draws your desires to you. You're collapsing time and space, and your energy brings it to you. Let's delve into the distinction between third-dimensional and fifth-dimensional creation. Understanding this difference can profoundly shift how you approach manifesting your desires. In the third dimension, everything operates within the constraints of time and effort. If you want something like a new house, it typically involves a lengthy process. First, you have to search for available houses, visit them, and make a decision. Then, you might need to secure financing, which often means taking out a loan that you'll be paying off for many years, sometimes decades. This process requires patience and persistence as you navigate through various steps to achieve your goal. Similarly, if your goal is to find a new job, it usually involves multiple steps. You start by searching for job openings, preparing your resume, and applying to different positions. Then comes the interview phase, which can require several rounds of meetings with potential employers. Even after all these efforts, you might not land your dream job right away. It could take time and several attempts before you find a role that truly aligns with your aspirations and qualifications. So, third-dimensional creation is characterized by linear progression and sequential steps. It's about physically exerting effort and investing time to bring your desires into reality. This approach is rooted in the belief that achieving significant goals requires a structured and methodical approach, often involving external factors and resources. Now let's contrast this with fifth-dimensional creation, which operates on a different paradigm altogether. In the fifth dimension, manifestation is not about linear progression or time-consuming processes. Instead, it's about aligning yourself energetically with what you desire and allowing it to come to you effortlessly. In fifth-dimensional creation, you are not bound by the limitations of time and physical effort. Instead of chasing after your goals, you become a magnet for them. You are like a vortex that draws in opportunities, resources, and experiences that resonate with your highest intentions and vibrations. Imagine manifesting your dreams without the need for exhaustive searching or prolonged waiting periods. In the fifth dimension, you are able to collapse time and space. This means that what you desire is not something you have to chase after or wait for. It's something you draw towards yourself by aligning your energy and intentions with it. This shift in perspective requires a change in how you perceive yourself and your relationship to the world around you. It's about realizing that you are a co-creator of your reality and that your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs play a crucial role in shaping your experiences. In fifth-dimensional creation, you focus less on the how and more on the what and why. Instead of getting caught up in the details of how something will happen, you trust in the process and surrender to the higher intelligence of the universe. You hold a clear vision of what you desire and why it matters to you, while allowing the universe to orchestrate the perfect unfolding of events. This approach is rooted in faith, trust, and alignment with your true essence. It's about cultivating a deep sense of inner knowing that what you seek is already on its way to you. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with this higher vibration, you create a fertile ground for manifestation to occur swiftly and gracefully. But in the fifth dimension, you don't go anywhere to get what you want. You draw it to you. You become the vortex collapsing time and space. Your energy brings it to you. You're no longer trying to control or predict the outcome. You trust the process and the unknown. So how do you start this powerful technique to manifest everything now? Here's what you do. First, you need to sit down and align your thoughts and emotions. Get clear on what you want. Visualize it. Feel the emotions as if it's already happening. Next, let's talk about the practice of gratitude. It's more than just saying thank you. It's about feeling truly thankful as if you've already received what you desire. When you practice gratitude in this way, You're sending a powerful signal to your body and mind that the event you're hoping for has already happened. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture or a social nicety. It's a deep emotional state that aligns your entire being with the frequency of your desired outcome. When you feel grateful, as if your wishes have already been fulfilled, you're creating a harmonious resonance between your inner world and the reality you want to manifest. Imagine for a moment that you've achieved your dreams, whether it's a new job, a loving relationship, improved health, or financial abundance. How would you feel? Excited, joyful, at peace, or perhaps deeply satisfied? These are the emotions you want to evoke when practicing gratitude. When you cultivate this feeling of gratitude, your body responds in remarkable ways. It releases positive hormones and neurotransmitters that uplift your mood and energy levels. Physiologically, gratitude reduces stress and boosts your immune system, making you more resilient and open to new opportunities. Moreover, gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. It's about appreciating the present moment and acknowledging the blessings in your life, no matter how small they may seem. This shift in perspective is crucial because it opens you up to abundance and attracts more positive experiences into your life. Practicing gratitude doesn't require any special tools or techniques. It's a simple yet profound act of acknowledging and appreciating the good things that surround you. You can start by keeping a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. This practice helps you cultivate a habit of focusing on the positive aspects of your life. Another powerful way to practice gratitude is through visualization. Close your eyes and imagine your desired outcome as if it has already manifested. Feel the emotions associated with achieving your goal, the joy, relief, or satisfaction. Then, express gratitude for this imagined reality as if it's already true. This visualization technique reinforces the belief that your desires are on their way to you. Then, take inspired action. Faith without action is just wishful thinking. Your actions need to match your intentions. Trust that the universe will guide you every step of the way. And finally, staying in the present moment is key. It's about moving beyond your old self, beyond the familiar thoughts and habits that have defined you. This process is about becoming nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time. It might sound strange at first, but it's about shedding the layers of identity that limit us and connecting with something larger, the greater consciousness. When we talk about becoming nobody, we mean letting go of the stories we tell ourselves about who we are. These stories often hold us back, keeping us anchored to past experiences and future worries. But in the present moment, there are no stories. There's just the pure essence of being, free from labels and expectations. Imagine for a moment being no one, not defined by your job, your relationships, or your possessions. This state of being opens up vast possibilities because you're not confined by the limitations of your ego or social roles. You become no thing, not defined by material desires or physical attributes. This liberation allows you to tap into a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment that transcends the superficial. Being nowhere means being free from the constraints of time and space. In the present moment, there is no past to regret or future to worry about. All that exists is now. This is where true freedom lies, in the ability to fully immerse yourself in the present without being weighed down by regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. And in no time, you're not bound by the linear progression of time. Instead, you align with the eternal now, where all possibilities exist simultaneously. This is the realm of infinite potential, where creation happens effortlessly. When you merge with the greater consciousness, you tap into the collective wisdom and energy of the universe. This is where the magic truly happens. It's a state of profound connection and alignment with the universal flow of life. In this state, you're no longer separate from the world around you. You're an integral part of it, co-creating your reality in harmony with the greater whole. This merging with greater consciousness is not something mystical or out of reach. It's a natural state of being that becomes accessible when we let go of our attachments and open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the present moment. Now let's practice a breathing technique to help you get into this state. Sit up straight and take a slow, steady breath. As you inhale, lift the muscles of your perineum, pulling in your belly button towards your spine. Follow your breath up through each energy center, locking them down as you go. When you reach the top of your head, hold your breath and contract those muscles. Visualize the energy moving up to the top of your head or to the pineal gland. This isn't about holding your breath until you turn purple. It's a slow, steady breath, contracting the muscles and pushing the cerebral spinal fluid up into your brain. As you hold your breath, pump and squeeze those muscles, compressing the fluid against your pineal gland. This activates your brain, merging your consciousness with the greater consciousness. This is the moment you become whole, complete, and ready to manifest your desires. You need to demonstrate a will greater than any program, a level of passion that surpasses any addiction to emotion. Keep practicing. Many people give up after a few tries, but real change takes persistence. Shake loose that old energy and let the new energy flow. When you do this correctly, you might experience unusual sensations. Don't be afraid. It's a sign that energy is moving into your brain. Trust the process. Surrender into it. This is your journey of transformation. So this powerful technique to manifest all your desires involves aligning your thoughts and emotions, practicing gratitude, taking inspired action, and staying present. Use the breathing technique to activate your brain and merge with the greater consciousness. Now, if you trust that you can go a little further, then all of those thoughts are just thoughts in your head that you have to create coherence around. So if you stopped and you said, I am going to master this moment, forget about going anywhere, doing anything, following instructions, I'm just going to work with my body to get it back into the present moment and continue to unfold back into possibility. Here's my question. If you turn that battleship around even slightly by executing a will that's greater than that program, and you are in hot pursuit of your own freedom and your brain and your personality is beating you up, I've had those moments, and you know what? It's David and Goliath. It has always seemed bigger than me because I've given it so much of my attention and so much of my energy. It is bigger than me. But when I no longer pay attention to it, just like not giving my power to it, now I can settle myself back into the present moment, and it's just the thought. And I examine that thought, I look at it, and I become very familiar and conscious of it. And then my brain will say, well, what about this? You did this wrong, it's too late. Give up. And then I address that thought. Now, here's my question. 45 minutes of doing battle with your personality and continuously choosing love and unfolding deeper into it. If you make the effort to disinvest your attention and energy out of Goliath and pull energy back to you, but the next meditation that you have could be the easiest meditation for you to connect. Is it possible? So then that had to come up for you in order for you to evolve through it. Yes or no? And your body is just saying, look, I'd rather be worrying about my taxes than connect to the divine. Yes or no? There's a book that was one of my favorite books I ever read. It's called The Red Lion. And The Red Lion is a great story of an initiate that murders an alchemist and drinks the Philosopher's Stone drinks, the Red Lion, the elixir of life that causes immortality. And he wasn't ready to drink this Philosopher's Stone. He wasn't of the right consciousness, and when he drank it, he never forgot any of his lifetimes. And he saw all his demons. And this book is this journey of this soul through different levels of every single lifetime you can imagine that you and I can relate to. And he runs into a secret society, and he becomes initiated. And there's a chapter in The Red Lion called The Kilkyard, and I ask my children to read that chapter every year. Every year they have to read that chapter, because the initiate sits down in front of a statue an inanimate statue. And his job is to animate that statue and bring it to life. Are you with me? And for years, he wakes up in the morning, makes his tea, has his breakfast, and then all day he's putting his life force and his energy into animating this particular statue. And after years, he notices it swallows. He notices it moving its finger, and the moment he starts to realize that he could take something inanimate and bring it to life, he gives it more of his attention and energy. You with me still? Until it is a walking, talking being. As we begin to create more coherence in the brain, more coherence in the heart, you're creating a very profound laser, a Wi-Fi signal that can allow you to read information. Can't read it if you're separate. You can't read it if your brain's incoherent. You can't read it if your heart's incoherent. And so, the more coherence and order you have, the more the experience gets enriched, because you can't read that information unless you're ready for it. That's the point. So, as people start getting through this, and they start having very profound moments, and they're now opening their heart, and they can sustain heart coherence, and they know how to create brain coherence, that's the formula. And now they have a laser. They have coherent light and information that can read information that exists beyond the senses, and the pineal gland, once activated, will transduce it into profound imagery. Whether you see with your eyes open or your eyes closed, it doesn't matter, because it's more real than anything you've ever experienced. Let's have a small pause here. It's the next part. Dr. Joe is going to talk about his research about the 4 states of matter. Listen carefully. This is very important. And so I started researching, and I found that there's 4 states of matter. There's solids, there's liquids, there's gases. And the biggest, most abundant form of matter, what's called plasma. And plasma is when you have a negative charge and a positive charge, and they haven't formed an atom yet. So if you have a negative charge and a positive charge, then you're going to have an electrical current running between the two and a field around that current. In the universe, really, stars connect through plasma. Everything connects through plasma. So when you start seeing these complex patterns, it's an impression from that plasma that's being pressed into 3-dimensional reality. And so if you take 3 stones, right, and you drop them at the same time into a plate, and you freeze the water in the plate, and those 3 stones fall, and they start producing concentric rings, and they start interfering with each other, you're starting to get complex pattern of interference. If you take a light and you shine it through that frozen piece of matter, when you shine the light through it, when the light shines through it, the laser shines through it, you will see the appearance, a hologram of those 3 stones projected out into space. That's exactly how reality is. So then reality then is a projection, right? And so then when you study matter, it's not matter that's emitting a field. It's actually those complex patterns that are creating matter. So then you don't change the tumor. The tumor is the effect of the pattern in the field. Change the field, you change matter. So teaching people how to do that, when they change the pattern in the field and it starts to appear as change in 3-dimensional reality, the illusion is everybody's been trying to change matter. And so it's not that. So it starts changing the way you see things, right? Because disease then is an incomplete pattern. It is a fractal pattern that's lost order, that's lost coherence, that's lost centropy, that is fragmented, can we say? You could say it's broken down, it's disorderly, it's chaotic. You know, and I don't know, you can use the example of Imhotep crystals as a good example. When you see gratitude, you see those beautiful geometric patterns. When you see anger, when you see pain, you see this weird pattern that's not solid, it's not coherent. So then why not practice brain and heart coherence? Because you're creating a lot of order out of disorder. And as you do that better and better, and you're functioning from a different consciousness, you'll begin to interact with information that's beyond your senses. Most of our thoughts and feelings come from our past experiences. They come from our memories. In fact, your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a record of all the things you've learned and experienced to date. It's an artifact. And when you have an experience, when you're in the midst of an experience, all of your five senses plug you into the external environment. And as your brain is processing all of this vital sensory data, all of that information rushes back to the brain. And when it reaches the brain, it causes jungles of neurons to organize themselves into networks, to string into patterns, to reflect their interaction with their external environment. The moment those neurons organize into patterns, the brain makes a chemical, and that chemical is called a feeling or an emotion. And so experiences tend to create more long-term memories because it patterns or stamps or embosses networks of neurons into very specific patterns. And then the emotional quotient helps us to remember the event. So we learn something new intellectually. We also cause networks of neurons to form. I mean, the Nobel Prize laureate Kandel in the year 2000 found that when people learn just one bit of information, they doubled the number of connections in their brain from 1,300 connections to 2,600 connections. So if they didn't review that information or repeat it, the connections pruned apart. So we know then that learning semantic information begins to organize circuitry in the brain, and experiences enrich the brain. The end product of experience, of course, is the emotion, and it causes us to feel certain ways. And the moment you felt altered or you felt differently, significantly, your brain perked up and you paid attention to whatever caused that. And that event in and of itself is called a memory. So then most of our thoughts and feelings tend to be within the neural circuitry of the past and the emotions of the past chemically. So if you take a thought, thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. So if you combine a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, and you have a series of good thoughts that are connected to a series of good feelings, that cycle of thinking and feeling creates what's called an attitude. If you have a series of negative thoughts that are connected to some pretty bad feelings, you'll say you have a pretty bad attitude today. So if how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, your attitudes are just shortened states of being. You feel good in the morning, you feel bad in the afternoon. If you take an attitude, an attitude, an attitude, and you begin to string, when you learn new things, it makes you more aware. This awareness changes your consciousness, which is linked to your energy. Right now, there's a global shift in energy. This shift affects old ways of thinking that no longer match the new level of consciousness. We are experiencing a big change, not just in one person, but as a collective group. If you look around, you'll see that various systems, like the economy, politics, religion, the environment, and healthcare, are starting to fall apart. Throughout history, people often wait for a crisis, like a problem or disaster, before they change. This is a sign that something new is needed. As old systems break down, new ones must take their place. We have two choices in how we deal with crises. We can react with fear and urgency, which often leads to selfish behavior and competition. This can make things worse. When people act out of fear, they become more divided and disconnected. Fear, competition, and anger can control us and lead to more problems. Instead, we can see a crisis as an opportunity for creativity and innovation. When faced with a crisis, we can use it as a chance to think differently and find new solutions. This involves shifting our mindset to see the crisis as a chance for greatness. Innovators and leaders throughout history were those who saw beyond the current problems and created new ways of being. When we become creative and innovative, our brains start to function differently. We activate the parts of the brain responsible for big thinking and problem solving. This allows us to ask important questions like how to create a new system in a world that's changing rapidly, People who feel empowered by new possibilities understand that the end of old ways means the start of something new. The way you think affects your life. If you truly believed that your thoughts could shape your future, you'd make sure to focus on positive thoughts every day. Your brain reflects your past experiences. It's a record of what you know. So, does your environment shape your thoughts, or do your thoughts shape your environment? If you start each day doing the same things in the same way, you're reinforcing old habits and thoughts. If you always follow the same routine, you keep creating the same experiences and emotions. To change your life, you need to break out of this routine. If you keep doing the same things and thinking the same thoughts, you'll keep getting the same results. For real change, you need to think and act differently.